jumping from talking about the blurring into gaming, which I think will have a huge, well, the metaverse and all those devices will have a huge impact into the gaming world. But could that be why Netflix is launching gaming and gaming or games and gaming apps on their software?
Yeah, it's an interesting one again. I noticed, well, I'd been seeing things about it popping up, different articles and things, and then I went onto my Netflix app on my phone the other day and it was finally available there as the games tab. And there's sort of five or six games. You go into them and I think you then have to download all of the content for those games to be able to play it. And it was just kind of a weird experience because it was almost like, I mean, for me, I use Android. To get games on Android, I have to go to the App Store and I'll download that. Now I've got an app which I've downloaded from the App Store where I then have to download further games within another app. And I don't really understand why. And it kind of feels like what Facebook did how many years ago where they had games on the platform and they might still have that, but it was a big thing where actually everyone was actually using it. And I don't know that they have it now. It's definitely not popular if they do. But it's almost as if Netflix and TikTok are experimenting with games, which is one of the next things we'll talk about. It's kind of all the same thing. It's as if they're trying to follow that path, and I don't really know why. I mean, I personally, I don't think I can see myself playing games on the Netflix app. I go to Netflix to watch my Netflix. I don't really go on there to spend time playing little handheld games. So I don't know.
It could maybe be that Netflix is just trying to diversify. Like, it's, at one point it was weird that Facebook had Messenger as a separate app. Now you can download Messenger and have Messenger but not have Facebook.
Mm,
Um, and I think that's a question around how much companies choose to separate the main app from other apps and vice versa, because marketplace Facebook Marketplace could very much be it's a standalone Gumtree and eBay competitor. Groups could be their own app. So it's weird that I think Netflix. So I'm not sure. You're probably not across the whole thing around Apple and Apple's commission structure and how they force apps on iPads and or on Apple devices to go through Apple's payment system, and they take a commission cut. So there's this whole conversation going on there, and essentially what Apple does at the moment is force um, in-app purchases to go through Apple's system. So you can't send, like, Netflix wouldn't be able to send you away to Netflix's website to purchase a game. And I feel like maybe remnants of that, or for ease of development with the initial app, they've just pushed the same functionality across Android and the Apple ecosystem, which for us meaning people in the Android side of things, we're used to a lot more freedom. We're used to being able to literally download an app from the internet and install it on our phone, which isn't something that you can do on iPhones. So there is a difference, I think, and that difference, the ecosystem difference, is something that Netflix has to balance for. But then again, jumping into games, Netflix is probably just looking at being an entertainment company. That's
mm-hmm.
that's the best way to see it, right? TikTok, again, you mentioned TikTok, and getting into gaming. That that's what TikTok is. TikTok's not social media; it's entertainment. Um,
Yeah.
how many? I know you're on TikTok, aren't you, Kelsey?
Yeah. I started on there during lockdown, I think it was. I was like, I'm not going to do this, but then now I'm addicted.
Do you socialize on there, or do you just
I don't really even
consume?
have like an account. I literally just scroll. I don't think I really like anything or interact with anything. I just scroll.
Right. So very
Mm.
much consumption,
Yeah.
not interaction. So it makes sense. And to say, obviously, the same thing with Netflix. Like, Netflix, as far as I'm aware, has no social sort of connection side of things. So they're really just an entertainment company. And as long as they can deliver entertainment to you, which is at this stage just videos and games, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if music eventually became a thing, but that would only be because I would say Netflix has run out of the total addressable market, or sort of consumed the whole market, and they want to get into music's just notoriously difficult to play in because the margins are very fine. There's not a lot of money to be made. But Netflix would go down that road. I'm betting right now, once they've addressed, as much of the market around gaming and videos as they can, because by now, like, everyone who's going to get Netflix has got Netflix, I would argue. I don't see why.
I mean, there's younger generations that are always growing and can choose then to have their own Netflix account. But
That's
that's a
always going to
time
happen.
thing.
But exactly, like, we're talking about right now. Why, apart from not having the internet, why wouldn't someone be on Netflix? Why wouldn't someone have Facebook? Cost is the only other factor. So you just give them other reasons, or because they don't consume video. Like, I would imagine there's a certain demographic that spends a lot more time gaming than watching TV shows. So Netflix just gets to go, diversify and get into those markets as well. And probably, like, from a infrastructure, technical sort of capability point of view, doesn't make a difference for them whether they're delivering video files or gaming files or game files. So I could see it very much translating over. TikTok jumping into it, they've announced that they're actually working together with Zynga, which is good because I actually have some Zynga shares and they've been going down. But I think I've lost money on those Zynga shares so far. But
Maybe this will pick them back up. Yeah.
Have you read much about what they're gonna, like, what shape and form these?
No, so I'm not sure that they've announced too much just yet. I sort of put it in there just as an add-on to the Netflix thing because it sounds like a very similar product that they're going to be offering where it's in-app and it's another tab or whatever, however that looks, but it's just within the app and the platform they've already built. I think they talk about HTML5 within this, which is just a low, I don't know what the right word is, low capacity kind of gaming platform. It's just easier for people with lower internet speeds and things like that to access.
And lower barrier to entry as well, because you're no longer talking about having super powerful systems, and it's sort of, again, democratizing the development of games, because that's one area, like, they've done it with websites, they've done it with music, but I think games are still an area where no one's quite found the formula to make it, like, you and I think it's fair to say that if we had to make our own bit of music, we'd have a general idea of how we might go about that. But I would say with gaming, that's still not the case. So
yeah, I was just thinking about Snapchat, and Snapchat is such a funny one. We've talked about it a few times in the past few episodes. Snapchat definitely had a gaming side to the offering for quite some time, where you could start a game within the sort of filters that would pop up and play that back and forth with your friends. And I feel like that's almost an early iteration that these other apps, as usual, are stealing from Snapchat a little bit, but actually just making it better and doing it well. Whereas Snapchat seems to have all these awesome ideas that they're just not executing on and not capitalizing on, that are then being snapped up by people like TikTok and Instagram. Maybe they'll make a better go of it, make it more social, make it better. TikTok accounts might be able to contribute and build their own games. I don't know what that will look like.
Snapchat just hasn't had the market share, I think, or the volume to really push an idea out there that, like, catches on. Whereas TikTok's huge. All these other platforms, especially Facebook, to me, it was just that they had the sheer volume, they had the sheer size to do what Snapchat couldn't, and that was to get a lot more people using the games or the apps or whatever else it is. And sorry, I should have said Meta, because there were a lot of Instagram features that were stolen from Snapchat.